I'm glad you guys could join us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I didn't have a cowboy hat, so I said the Detroit hat is, next best.
and represent whatever it is, right? Well, y'all give a little background, give a little intro, man. Tell us who you are.
All right, I can get off. My name is Damon. I'm 29. I'm from Detroit, born and raised. I'm an Air Force veteran. I was a public health technician in the Air Force. Came home from that. I worked at Apple for a couple. I was doing business team lead. I had an unfortunate little battle with homelessness, but it's the best thing that ever happened to me. Life been pretty cool for me ever since. And I'm really into video games. Like, that's the best way to describe me. And what about you, Steve?
I'm Stephen Farrar. I'm 29 years old, also born and raised in Detroit. CFO and co-founder of Obsidian. Do a lot of work around literacy, public education here in Detroit. We given about 15,000 books, like, directly to kids. And it's something that when I started out, everybody said, these kids don't want to read, they don't want to learn, you're wasting your time. And, just seeing kids' faces light up like it's Christmas because you're giving them an old used book that's been recycled is kind of what, kept me going with it. And then came on Obsidian about 2 years ago. Had no idea that we would be in the spot we're in today. So, just thankful.
Awesome,
man.
man.
It's great.
So
man.
now trying to do the same thing for banking, man. And I think it's super cool, right? And look, you guys, I mean, can you imagine if it would be like if him and I built a Rancher app, right? You see the needs of the community and you go out and do it, man. I think it's cool as shit. I actually have a ton of respect for you guys and what you're doing. And just for the audience real quick, I'm going to tell you guys, I was on a phone call with them and they're telling us about it. And I was like, man, the marketing costs of going direct to consumer. And they're like, dude, we go door to door.
Yeah.
And then it's word of mouth from there. So y'all want to talk about a marketing strategy.
Committed.
That is awesome.
Yeah, grab me too. You guys talk real quick, if you would, about, I know you've gotten a bunch of accolades and a bunch of awards and cool things already. You want to kind of talk to that point?
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of recognition from some of the local politicians. Stephen has made a name for himself. He's a really, really great campaign manager. So that's a little bit about why we're doing $1 million. He knows what it's like to go door to door. He knows what it's like to get a messaging out there. We got the attention of the Detroit City Council. The Madam President gave us the Spirit of Detroit, which is the City Council's highest honor. And we were also nominated for a legislative tribute by the state representatives. And we're really, really happy about that. Anything I'm missing, Stevie?
We partnered with the state of Michigan to have our governor declare, April 21st, Black Financial Literacy Awareness Day in Michigan.
Wow.
We thought that was really big, ahead of our financial wellness campaign. And then I think we failed to mention Benzinga. We were named top list makers at their Global FinTech Awards last year for World's Top Financial Influencer. And then this year we're nominated for Best New Product at their awards coming up in November, I believe.
This is awesome, man.
It's so cool, man. And for everybody out there kind of watching this going, so wow, how come I hadn't heard?
Well, I'm inspired, man. Nobody's given me an award in forever, man.
This is my first time too.
Yeah, man. I'm already learning. This is good.
They've got some cool approach to just overall, serving the Black community in a different way. So call it, I think they've got a really cool name for it, but it's basically like, safety inspired buy now, pay later. There's education involved here on, how to do different things to become, it's not just only literacy, but everybody in banking knows that you want to have a qualified applicant, right? And a lot of times in these communities, it's lost on people what the hell that means, I remember a long time ago when I was stupid and dumb and young and all that.
Not that long ago.
Not too long ago.
Man, this guy told me about the vocabulary of business. And being from Purcell, Oklahoma, I didn't know what in the hell he was talking about. But it was like learning the vocabulary when you sit in a business meeting, like return on investment and different things that people want to talk about and want to hear. Like we deal a lot with like banking as a service and then regular banks and fintechs.
Think about things like compound interest and how that relates to wealth or a credit card, right?
But the idea, the first thing we had to do when we sat down with the regulators and the BAS banks and the fintech guys was come to a common vocabulary. What's an end user? What's a fintech? And you'd be surprised how tough some of that can be. But once you get that little common language going on, it's like, okay, cool. Now we can rock, man.
Yeah, man, 100%. This world is like all acronyms. And coming in as the guys that were starting from scratch, really didn't have any type of background in this industry. I mean, we were learning on the go, sometimes going in meetings, acting like we knew some of these acronyms, having to go look them up afterwards.
Right.
So I'm sure Damon can attest to that.
Yeah. I just got lucky. I was attending Harvard when I first started Obsidian. I had a couple classmates I could bounce off of. I ended up joining the Harvard Blockchain Club, and it's a lot of really, really intelligent people in there. So whenever I really came across something I didn't know, I just pop in there, and I almost always got help. But almost every conversation included some type of acronym, some type of word that we need to go look up. So we watching TED Talks. We're on YouTube. Like, YouTube has been our best friend.
Really?
That's great, man.
Yeah.
That's really great.
That's awesome. But yeah, man, once you kind of get to the basics of how to communicate with people and then teach them the things that they need to know to better themselves, right? And there's a hell of a difference, man, in what goes on in these different communities as far as access to credit, the ability to learn how to get access to credit. And you guys provide all of that, as well as, that's in the first pass here. And then I think in phase 2 of your product, there'll be some, lending activities and other cool things. Tell us a little bit about phase 1 and what your phase 2 product looks like.
So phase 1 is a lot about education, really getting them prepared for the eventual launch of things like an auto loan or a home loan. And we just understand the facts of business. The more leverage we can give our customers, the more money we can make, and the more wealth that they're able to obtain. So that's kind of what phase 1 is really, really about, is getting that education, getting them some of those secured credit cards, some credit builder loans, some of the starter options, teaching them about, how small or how compound interest grows. And then eventually phase 2, 18 months, 24 months down the line, seeing some of our more qualified users, getting them into an auto loan that's not predatory, or getting them into a personal loan. So just expanding some of that wealth, and we all can like enjoy this and like really experience this together.
Why we even chose to go that route is because we know, looking at our numbers, 42% underbanked, 14% unbanked, 66% don't own stocks, half of us don't own stock or real estate. We knew the educational piece was like really, really important. I'm a guy that used to have to sneak out of work to go pay back a payday loan and take it back out just to be able to make ends meet for the next 2 weeks. So like, we know how expensive it can be to be poor. And just like that extra money that you're missing, that you're paying in fees, things like that, that could eventually, the compound interest alone could be the down payment on a home one day. So just getting some of those things out there. Me and Damon talk about a lot. One of the things we really want to like preach when we're, going door to door is talk about delayed gratification, and how like, don't be going in looking for the instant return, how that's usually a trap. And, have a game plan, stick to it, and see it through to the end, and, reap the fruits from it.
Yeah, it's kind of
delayed
like
gratification.
Well, it's like Oklahoma in the third quarter. If they got a lead, they're going to run the ball, man. They're going to run.
Yes, sir.
Gratification will win the damn thing, but if we go crazy right now, we'll blow the whole ball game. Hey, something cool you guys talked about.
Can you say the Atlanta Falcons?
Man, you guys hit me up the other day about the disproportionateness of not only just the stock purchasing in the Black community versus others, but also the acceptance of crypto and things like that. That was pretty cool, man.
So we adopted crypto at a 2-to-1 rate compared to other Americans. And I think that we found comfort in that transparency there. There was no regulatory governing building or like body that could say like, hey, let's be racist to this, or let's make this harder for other races. It was a free world and everybody could be hurt equally. And I think that's kind of what made it safe for us. We were seeing these millionaires lose 40 million in this. We were also seeing like regular people make 10 million in this. And it felt like a wild, wild west land that was equal. And we kind of want to bring that to everyone's door, that it can be equal.
So alternative assets, man. I like that. I like it.
Well, it's, Stephen, I'm sure you guys, man, talked a lot about trying to just educate people on the idea of an earning asset versus a non-earning asset. I mean, it's something, again, being from, where I came from, being pretty stupid, just to be honest with you. It took me a long time. Hey, man, I thought a 68 Camaro was an earning asset. And I was like, actually turned out to not be an earning asset. When you're 33 before you buy your first home and you're like, I get it now. You make money that way. So, yeah, there was a lot, kind of slow, but I get there,
Same, man. That's 100% like a lot of stupid mistakes along the way, learning the hard way. Even, even talking about like our adoption, just with FinTech in general, I was a person that going back to like how some of these things are sort of gamified, I was doing really well investing. I saw a call option where it said I could make like $100,000 in a week. And I didn't know what I was doing. I just saw, the high risk, high reward. And I'm like, let's go for it. Ended up losing everything. But, my interest was still there. That eventually led me into, kind of being afraid of the stock market for a change. Switched over to doing some crypto investments. Had a good run with that and was able to get out, early enough to not feel this little, downfall right now. But the interest is just there. I don't know if Damon wants to add anything to that.
Just about the interest, I was posting my personal stories on like my Facebook and like just my personal journey with stocks. I went from about $5,000 up to $25,000. I invested a little bit more. I ended up getting it over $150,000, just straight from investing. I got lucky enough to ride the biggest bull run we've ever seen in 2020. Mm-hmm. And like Steven said, I knew when to get out. I got out in the middle of 2021. And I'm like a dividend investor. I want something that's safe. I don't want to make money in 4 years. I want to make money in 30. So I'm very big into just stock market in general. A monkey will beat any hedge fund. A monkey will beat any individual stock picker. Mm-hmm. So I just want to take the top 500 companies and invest in them.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, I told you guys about that buddy of mine at Unify Money that says, get rich slow. I'm like, I love it. That's wisdom.
Yeah,
that's the way to go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we want to build our like Obsidian. We want her to like role play as an elephant on earth. She's a goddess of design and creativity. And I heard a quote from a TED talk that it's, sometimes it's a bull market, sometimes it's a bear market, but it's always an elephant market. Just be patient and it'll come back to you. That's in housing, that's in stocks. So we want to have Obsidian play as that patient elephant.
That's awesome.
And she was also inspired by Damon's 5-year-old daughter. So we can never let that go, unnoticed.
So what did she do?
Artist.
That's great.
She's an artist.
Yeah.
So we have
your son is the astronaut, right?
Yes. My son wants to be the first man on Mars.
That's awesome, man. I love it. No, we do the same thing with the FinTech Cowboys. The guy that draws the little caricatures. So we'll put you guys in little cowboy hats, man. It'd be super fun. But he draws the characters. It was my college roommate, man, that became an artist. And so he's like a native Texas landscape artist. And it's super cool, man. He goes around, like we'll go on an overnight canoe trip and camp out, and he'll bring an easel and he'll be painting the river in the morning, And so I approached him. I'm like, will you paint these business caricatures? And he's like, dude, that's not what I do, man. I'm like, come on.
You can do that, man.
Yeah.
Come on. You can paint a fish. You can do that.
I love it, man. Personalizing things and your own experiences is awesome.
Well, this is really the heart of the matter of what you guys are doing, in my opinion, is you're recognizing the fact that it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what your situation. There's strengths and there's talents in every community, and there's talents in all people. And sometimes you have to drag that talent out, like your dog. Your dog is one of them. I have to drag the talent out of that dog.
He's high-spirited like me, man. That's what I like about him. He's hard-headed as hell.
But if you feel that talent in a lot of people and you just put a little water on it, it'll grow. And that's a really neat thing that you guys are aspiring to do. I know kind of where you're at in your journey right now. And I think it's going to be one of those moments where let's come back a year from now. And it'll be like, people will be going, man,
I knew those guys.
Those dudes on the Umbrella Academy, they stole the name of that hotel from you.
That's great, man.
That would be amazing.
Yep. So you guys are building things out right now, right? And I know using some mutual friends of ours, helping with some of the dev stuff.
Practicing. That whole team over there, Tim, he's great. He's leading a great team, a great culture over there. Kevin has been great. Christiane, I cannot forget her. She's how Damon met her at FinTech Meetup, and that's how that relationship started. They actually offered us their technical director to really serve us hands-on with our app development.
There's a lot of good businessmen, but like there's very few companies that have good hearts, and like the team over at Paxton has a good heart.
You think so? Too?
Really love them, and they do really good work. They're really detailed. They have clean code. It was a pleasure to look at some of the work they had.
I love it. Yeah, they're great, man. They work a lot on all sides of banking, and they're friends, and we run into them all the time in different things. So we think highly of them too. Tell us, the audience, what do you guys need that you're not getting? Look, this whole journey that you've done, right, and everything that's come up, what is the, I don't know, the banking and fintech community, what are the walls that you just can't get through, right? Like, what do you need to learn, or who can you not get to, or who's not being supportive enough? Like, what do you need? What are the problems you run into?
Capital
Capital is always
Of course.
capital.
Of course, that's always number one.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, when we got like our first ever call we ever had with any type of investor, they were like, you guys don't have the high profile celebrity backing you. What makes you think you all can make this happen? What makes you all think, your demographic can comprehend, this investing tool that you want to offer and things like that. And, early on, it was kind of like, we were feeling like the support wasn't there. We were feeling like, it was only room for like one horse in the race, quote unquote. And that, people really wouldn't take us serious as a Black bank that didn't have any type of like strong financial backing or high profile person backing them. And making it this far, I just, I really want the audience to know, like, this is not by mistake. A lot of days we genuinely can't believe it, but we keep going because we know we're here for a reason. We genuinely are the regular guys. We're solving the same problems that we grew up, having them affecting us. And, we've built this product without compromise. And so, of course, capital is always needed. Strategic partners that genuinely, align with our mission or just have resources or support that can, help us just see this vision unfold. Phase 1, phase 2, and, even down the road from there. And, we're always open, always willing to meet people, learn. Like Damon said, we are the regular guys that started from scratch. So our inexperience sometimes is a hindrance, but sometimes it also helps us because, we're not afraid to be honest about it and say, hey, we're able to learn it. So let's get to work. So anything you want to add to that, Damon?
There's one thing I do want to add. The way we've gone around building a company is completely different than the way most major Black companies have attempted to do it. We didn't go and get a figurehead speaker. Both of our competitors have very famous actresses as their speaker for their company. So some of the times when we go into the room and they just see two regular guys approaching something like this, it's as if it's a burden on Black companies to have that figurehead, to have that one star willing to put their name behind it. And Steven and I so far have been reluctant to do that. We really want this to be a faceless company because it could be anybody. We really want people to be inspired beyond Obsidian to do their own things and to make their own companies. A lot of our competitors may think it's only a one-person race. Well, Steven and I want to collaborate. We want to have banking summits or Black banking summits. And we're going about it in a very friendly way in a very dog-eat-dog world. So we're going to really see if we can get business to appreciate that.
I know a couple of guys that did something like this once before.
Yeah.
I might
be looking up.
I'll tell you, the world would have you believe that the good guys don't win and that you need to lie, cheat, and steal. And I will say it has taken us a lot of licks and a long time, but being the good guys has worked out for us.
Yeah.
Right. And I came from a similar place of not knowing what the hell I'm doing in my life, and your life started similar, right? I mean,
Yeah, I'm a big believer in the everyday guy, and we're like that. I mean, we don't come from these high connected backgrounds in life and all that stuff. And if that's what it takes to get things rolling, then what the hell's the country come to? And I think if you believe in our creed and you believe in what we're doing, then man should be able to stand on his merit. And you guys have walked the walk. You've gone door to door. You've done all of the things necessary. You've done far more than most. And when somebody says, hey, you need to have somebody behind you, you need to have an actor, or you need to have an athlete or somebody as a figurehead, that's just bullshit.
I love
and
it.
if that's the
I
first
love
path to victory,
I think
I'll take
you
the long
guys,
way.
yeah, I think you guys are a hell of a lot more of a figure. You have my respect, and that'd be hard to say about an actor or an actress. That's
Same.
Like that.
Well, we may not be able to slam doors open, but I'll tell you one thing, anything that you need, let us know, and we'll certainly put you in touch with the people that we know and see if we can't accelerate what you're trying to do, because what you're trying to do is a good thing. And guys, this is what community banks are all about, trying to serve their communities. They just see it in a geographic way, and you're trying to take something that started as a geographic area for you guys and go nationwide and serve at a level, on a demographic level. Man, that's a cool thing.
But you got a great lesson too, man. I tell community banks all the time, look, geographic community is important, right? And some places it's really important. You guys looking at Black community, right? And there are how many other, probably thousands that we could probably come up with of communities that are underserved. Because think about your journey in life and, things that are important to you and whatever community you might be a part of. From a financial perspective, you're probably not being served.
I was driving around Detroit the other day, and I went into a sub shop, and one of the signs they had outside was payday loans are available. This was outside of a sub shop, and you see stuff like that more than you see actual banks in Detroit, like physical representation banks. You see a lot of ATMs, you see a lot of payday loans, but you don't actually see any physical banks. And that's what we're trying to change, that representation. Because we are a fintech, we won't have the representation of a physical brick and mortar bank. And that's why we go on face to face. Just that level of respect. And I think people will have more confidence in applying for a home loan if they were able to do it in person with somebody they built a rapport with. So we definitely want to increase that access. That's like super big on Obsidian with that. And different neighborhoods gonna always need different things. So definitely agree with that.
Trust is massive, man. When somebody's, that's what I try to tell people all the time. You want to be successful, stop trying to sell people shit, And the first time you stop trying to make money, that's when you make money. And it's weird. Damon talked about having a celebrity endorsement, or, Steve talked about actresses and stuff. And, if you don't have that, you damn sure better have your word. And
you better have integrity. That's
for a long time. If you've got in a room and we left the room and somebody walked in there and said, those guys are a bunch of assholes. If there ain't 5 people lined up to beat the shit out of them, we're blowing.
No, real talk.
Have your back.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I just want to give FedFis a shout out too. Just the way we met was just really, really random. Came across a LinkedIn post of you guys, went to the website. I filled out a contact form and I got a call from Bobby. Or I got an email from Bobby saying, can you guys give me a call? He accepted our call at 11 a.m. that day. He talked to us for an hour. He had never met us. Sat down, talked to us for an hour, gave us 2 introductions, gave us a call a week later. And just from there, we built the relationship with you guys. And just that's off a random call. And that's integrity and that's being a good guy. And we really wanted to give y'all a shout out for that.
The only thing I want to add is we just want to make banking cool. We want it to be as cool as, how people feel when they get that brand new pair of Jordans or, whatever their vice is. We want banking to be their new vice.
You guys give us confidence to be ourselves in some of our marketing commercials and just, the way we interact. Just seeing you guys be yourselves, it gives us a lot of confidence. We look at you guys a lot as kind of like role models, and we appreciate that.
Oh, too much, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Steve, you hit it, man. When you're let's make banking cool. Tanner always kids around. He's like, we're a bunch of mutts. There's
nobody sets out to be a banker.
I'm gonna be a banker when I grow up, man. Nah.
Nobody said
our ways here, man.
But what's neat, man, is you guys you're really in this game, jamming through this whole process here, and you're starting to see how cool this really is, man. It's the technology and what we can do and how much, there's openings here to help people in a big way.
Right.
And it's okay, there's some technology to learn, but it's not overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And you start going, okay, I get this API thing now. And that wasn't so damn hard, all
right.
Yeah. It's new, but it's also changing really fast. And there's little regulations. And so, man, this is I look at this learning how to be a Formula One driver. I mean, this is pretty cool shit, Y'all should have been here a long time ago.
Which comes to my point. When you're excited, I think customers are excited. Yeah. Right? I wouldn't say what we do is Formula One driving. Yeah. You dork. That's awesome. This guy's excited. This is an excited dude right here. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I tell Steven, this is the funniest thing I ever did. Yeah. There's legit days where we don't go to sleep because we're excited about something that's coming the next day. Every day is something new. Every time it's a new email, and it's I'm living the best days of my life right now. That's awesome. Every single day doing this. Yeah. So I'm
for free.
I'm enjoying every moment for free, and it's the most fun I ever had.
And I think what you're trying to do is bring that. I mean, everything you guys have talked about. You want your customers to feel that way. Right. You want the community to feel that way about investing. I mean, look, we can all call it investing in money, but it's really investing in themselves, right, in their future. Mm-hmm. And that's,
Exactly.
you guys are investing in them first, though. And I think that's really important. It's admirable.
It is. That's really well said. They didn't do that very often. That's pretty good.
Okay,
All right.
I haven't even
It was from the heart.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, like me and Damon, we sometimes it's frustrating, but we call each other about 5:30 a.m. every day. Whoever wakes up first calls the other person. It's like, good morning, Mom, good morning, Steve. It's gonna be a good day today.
That's
and
good.
like we saw a video of someone that said they did that. We started to implement it. And I mean, like you said, we start off every day with that excitement. Some days I've never been excited to pull an all-nighter. I'm a person who loves to get my rest, but you know, it's just, that's not reality anymore. So this is what keeps me awake.
I love it.
But
Oh, man.
there's the excitement that comes from all this stuff, and it's jazzed up. And like Tanner said, when your customers feel it, man, you hit on it a while ago, and you said, you used to go to the payday lender and just get reamed there, and you get creamed here and you get creamed there. And it's like really hard to get a foothold. And then somebody says, what you need to do is save your money. And you're like, what money?
I don't have any money.
Oh, man, they took it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So trying to get through this process. And I think when these folks begin to start seeing that what you're building here and this path to economic freedom that you put together,
Nice.
it should be, I mean, it's a high, man. It's a good thing. It's something that makes you go, hey, I feel good about me, and when your customers feel good about themselves by using your product, I can only imagine how good you feel. But hey, man, this is what we all try to do here.
Man.
And last thoughts, final thoughts. It's usually your part. Final thoughts. Yeah.
Look, you guys nailed everything. My final thought to you guys is I'm super just like, I'm inspired, proud of what you guys are doing. Look, I think you guys can inspire community banks. If they all thought and acted and they went door to door like you guys do, they'd be a hell of a lot more successful. And you guys aren't afraid, and a lot of them are. And I appreciate that about you, man. Final thoughts, man. Shoot. What did we miss?
Any community banks that want to go door to door in the neighborhoods, call Obsidian. We'll go with you.
I love it.
We'll do it for any communities, any demographics. We'll go.
All right, man. Cool.
What you got, Steve?
I just want to say thank you. Please, any community banks that hears that, take that to heart. But just thank you guys. Just to reiterate what Damon said, you all give us so much confidence in continuing this journey and just being able to be ourselves and trusting that we can still make this happen. So, I just appreciate you all being in our corner. And I just want to tell the world to get ready for Obsidian.
You bet, man. Awesome. Hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us. Keep up the fight, and you give us a call. Let me know what you need.
Definitely good.
You have a good one.
Guys.
Thanks
All right, take care.
See you guys.